Hey everybody, so rendering an animation out from Blender can take many different faces and can be done in so many different ways. And in this video in particular, we're actually going to look at how to render out an animation from EEVEE, and in the next video we'll look at how to render out an animation from cycles. There's a lot of similarities, but there are some differences that I really want to highlight, specifically in how it is assembled and reassembled and all that. So let's just focus on exporting an image that is rendered in EEVEE this time. So in this case, I have an animation. It is a camera that is rotating around. It is pretty much the video from last time, but I've added a checkerboard in the back to make sure that you can kind of see some of the movement. And the first thing that I want to do is I want to go into this output properties window over here. And the first thing you'll see is the resolution. I can actually change the resolution of my film right here. If I wanted to make it maybe the aspect ratio of a reel or an Instagram thing, or maybe a letterbox film that would be seen on a big screen. Down here, you'll see I have the frame range, and if I move this, you'll see that down on my timeline, it is moving it back and forth as well. I'm pressing Command Z right now, or Control Z. I can also control these settings down here. And then finally, you're going to see the output. Now, I'm actually going to select an example folder right here. For your project, you should have a very specific folder for your outputs. In this case, my example folder would be that folder. And you'll see that I can change the file format of what I want to export. Now, right now, if I exported this as a PNG, it would export 60 PNGs, one for each frame. And that's something that we're going to do next video. In this video, I just want to export an actual video. So I'm going to select my file format as FFmpeg video. And then inside of encoding, I'm going to switch this from Matroska to MPEG-4. Great. Most of my settings are set up right now, but the next thing that I want to do is go into my render properties setting. Now, render properties are essentially how many samples you are going to take per pixel per frame. And the higher amount of samples that you have for your render, the more detailed your render is going to look. You're going to be able to get a lot of those smaller lighting details. The less that you have, it's going to look like it's a pretty low quality, but at the same time, it's going to come out really quickly. So depending on what style you're going for, it's not the worst idea to change this to the appropriate medium. Oftentimes, I will go for a lower output setting the first time I render something, just so that I can get a sense of what it looks like before I go for a really high quality render. In this case, I'm going to do 10 samples, and I'm going to go up here to render, and I'm going to click on render animation. And let's see what happens. Okay, great. So it is going through every frame. Your computer might be taking a little bit longer. I have a very beefy computer here. Great. It's gone through all of my 60 frames. Let's go ahead and open my desktop, open my example folder, and open this video and see what's going on. Great. I have an animation right out of the box. Now, if I was going to do something in cycles, I might need to change my settings a little bit more, and we'll talk about that in the next video.